This video is about my experience of going through the STA Award in Swimming Teaching course. I will walk you through all 5 days of the course. Things we covered, things I liked and I didn't like. The practical swimming teaching exercises, the assessment and much more. My name is Alan Cie. I learned to swim at the age of 32 and it changed my life. Since then, I'm on a mission to teach other people to swim and promote water safety around the world. As someone who wasn't a competitive swimmer myself, I was very much in doubt whether I would be able to complete this course. For example, I haven't really practiced much butterfly swimming, and therefore I was not sure whether this won't disqualify me from doing this job. During the course though, I met others from non-swimming backgrounds, which helped a lot. By the end, it turned out not to be a big problem at all, and I'll talk about this a little bit later in the video. But before I talk about first day of this course, I need to tell you why I chose this qualification rather than Swim England or Scottish Swimming qualifications. And here I'll have to make a little disclaimer. I do not work for STA or any other aquatics governing body. I am not getting paid to review this course, and everything I say here is my own personal experience, as well as an account of events that happened during that week. Now, there are 4 ways of getting a swimming teaching qualification in UK. Swim England, SEQ, Scottish Swimming, SSTQ, STA Award in Teaching Swimming, and STA Certificate in Swimming Teaching. There are other qualifications that you can go through, like working with babies, people with disabilities, or open water coaching. This is simply the first step to becoming a swimming teacher for me or anybody else who wants to do this job, and any additional skills and qualifications I will follow in future videos and my other qualification gaining journey. Depending on the choice of your qualification, its duration and location may vary. Swim England courses will of course be held in England. Scottish swimming courses are done locally around Scotland, and STA will have courses all over UK, but less frequently. From the information I gathered through my research before and after the course, I realized that those courses are very similar to each other, but they're not the same. Swim England qualification is the most popular and commonly encountered qualification around the UK. When it comes to Scottish swimming qualification, it's very similar with a couple of minor differences that you can read about on their website. I will link all those resources to those courses in the description of the video. Those two have 2 levels. You start off by completing level 1 by becoming an assistant, and then in order to fully independently teach adults and children, you have to achieve level 2. This course takes usually a few weeks to a couple of months and will be done commonly by leisure centers and public swimming pools within the city or town you live in. With STA, you go straight to level 2, so you don't have that part where you become the assistant at level 1. You go straight to level 2 and you can choose one of 2 courses. The STA Award, which allows you to train children and adults from non-swimmer to improver, and if you go for the STA Certificate course, after achieving it, you will be able to train from non-swimmer to all the way to advanced competitive swimming, diving, and so on. The STA courses are usually taught by tutors from private swimming schools and freelance swimming tutors. Try to say that 5 times quickly. And I chose that because it's much more condensed course that happens over a short period of time, and you don't have to wait too long to start teaching. I also decided to go with STA because I plan to use this qualification internationally, and STA is a internationally recognized body around the world in terms of swimming. So this qualification will allow me to either get a job or be recognized even if I was independently teaching in any country I go to. Technically, those swimming qualifications that you gain through Swim England or Scottish Swimming would still be recognized, but to translate them or make them work in certain countries might take a little bit more hassle. In my opinion, choosing STA will cause the least amount of friction in order to get going immediately. Also, because STA courses are done in a much shorter time span and the other ones take several weeks or months, I chose that because I have other commitments like my full-time job and other responsibilities. Therefore, for me, it was the most obvious choice. However, I did have to travel in order to attend my course. You see, those courses from Swim England and Scottish Swimming are done locally. The STA ones will happen less frequently and in places maybe a little bit harder to reach. So in my case, that was Clydesbank, which is just outside of Glasgow. It took me about 1.5 hours to 2 hours to get there from Edinburgh, and it cost about £30 for a train ticket to get there every single day. Let me quickly go through the sign-up process and everything that follows right after. First, you go to the STA website and you choose the desired qualification. In my case, that was the STA Award in Swimming Teaching. You pick your starting location, where you live, and the distance you are willing to travel to. As you can see, the earliest course doesn't start until April. So if I didn't see a course before that, I would extend the radius of my search to maybe find one that is a little bit further out from where I live, but instead happens earlier. However, it's a good idea to consider the course schedule and how far you're going to have to travel. Simply because if you're going to have to travel far and the course happens across several weekends rather than weekdays, one after another, you have to go back and forth. That will cost you a lot of money and you will have to waste a lot of time. So be strategic about your choice. In my case, that was 2 weekends, one after another. 3 days on the first weekend and 2 days on another weekend. So I had to make 5 trips outside of Glasgow and back to Edinburgh every single day. Obviously, the most amount of courses happens around London. So those who live in the south of UK definitely have a little bit of an advantage and are spoiled for choice. Now, the price of the course varies. It's usually somewhere around £400. I paid £395 for mine. And there are slight variances depending on the course provider. Technically, that's a little bit less than the full course from Swim England or Scottish Swimming. They can be around 600, but you have to account for the travel costs and the accommodation you might need. I did not need accommodation, but I had to spend about additional £200 for all the train tickets for me to get where I had to attend my course. Most of the listings that you will see on the website will have all the information you need. However, it could be a good idea to contact the swimming school or the provider directly because you might have additional questions, like I did. I needed to find out what's the difference between STA Award and STA Certificate and how they deal with people who are from non-swimming backgrounds. In the end, I made a phone call to my tutor and it turned out that she was able to address every single concern I had. I decided to make this video though, so you can have some idea before you try to make any contacts and reach out to those schools. Keep in mind that some of the details here might not be up to date. In my case, both of the phone numbers listed on the page were not working, and I had to first go to the website and then try to find another phone number to call again. And despite that, I still didn't manage to get through, and in the end had to email the school directly, which took longer to answer, and I'm not a big fan of talking via email. I prefer to speak on the phone. Once you get in touch with them, they should be able to provide you everything that you need, including all the documents that you need to fill in, the application form, or any other resources that you will need to support your journey to become a swimming teacher. In terms of payment, in my case, I had to make a bank transfer, and also you need to bear in mind that there will be an STA membership required in order to complete this course. At the time of the recording, the membership costs £49, and it includes additional resources that you will need as a teacher and public liability cover and insurance, which is worth that yearly membership fee. Once you fill that all in, when you sign up and make the payment, all you have to do is wait for the first day of your course. Depending on how far into the future you book, it might be several months of waiting. And for me, that was over 2 months wait, which made me both excited, impatient, but also anxious. I was quite nervous. I didn't know what to expect. This is why I decided to make this video. So in case if you do have to wait for 2 months, you can have something to calm your nerves and help you with that anticipation and give you a chance to prepare yourself before you get to the course. If you think that this video is providing you enough value so far, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to the channel so I can continue producing this type of content. Let's move on to the day number 1.